Hello friends, I am Dr. Sucheta Vishwakarma, Assistant Professor, Department of Management, School of Management Sciences, Lucknow, and welcome you all to the series of lectures on supply chain and logistics management. Today we are going to discuss about warehouse facility location and network design. This is a very important topic, as this particular topic will help us understand the strategic decision making related to warehousing decisions, and it will help us understand that how and why organizations are so much take so much of time and pain to understand that what is the kind of warehouse that they should have and where they should be strategically located, so as to take a maximum outcome or maximum benefit from it. So, let us get started over here. Before talking about the warehouse facility, let us understand what is facility location. So, before that, let me also tell you that what do we mean by facility. So, facility is any warehouse or production unit where the work is, where the company is doing certain activity, and where they are producing something or converting something or doing an activity which will help them in uh, their main objective of getting the work done. So, what is facility location? Facility location is the process of identifying the best geographical location for a service or production facility. Over here, you need to understand that the facility location can that this term facility location can be used in any context. That means, it can be used in context of the production unit, the cross docking center, the warehousing unit, the packaging unit, or any other place too. But in today's lecture, since our area of discussion is warehouse facility location, so we will restrict ourselves to that area only. So, selecting suitable location for economic and effective operations is the main objective of deciding what facility location is. And coming to warehouse facility location, basically it helps in choosing the right warehouse location that can make all differences in how effective, efficient and profitable a company is. Because if you all remember that we had discussed that warehouses are very big places where the companies stock up and pile up their stocks. So, these warehouses are places which has to be which are which occupy large space, which are built up, and which have special facilities for loading unloading, in which special kind of temperatures are maintained for different kind of products, and over there securities and other arrangements are also required. So, overall if you talk about warehouse includes lots of cost to the organization, and hence by this investment of money needs to be wisely done, because if not done properly, then the profits will not be able to be maximized through warehouses. So, choosing the right location can have significant impact on the company's ability to compete and effectively serve customers. So, warehouse do provide a lot of opportunity to company to leverage on its strategic location. So, let us over here understand the factors affecting warehouse location. The first factor being the rent, rates and taxes. So, as we had discussed earlier when we were discussing about the warehouse, it is not important for any company to own their own warehouse only. They can have the warehouse rented also. We had studied the different types of warehouses, in which we had discussed that they are private, public as well as cooperative warehouses, plus obviously there are bounded. So, let us keep the bounded apart, because that is specifically for import export purposes. So, even if the organization is operating within the domestic boundaries also, then also there is no mandate for a company to have their own warehouse. So, obviously the company needs to understand that whether they want to have their private warehouse, and if not so, then what are the available options, that means in terms of public and cooperative, and what is the rental amount that they would that would be charged from them for keeping their products, and what is the flexibility that is provided to them, and what are the other taxes that gets attracted if they are stocking up their products into that particular warehouse. Then the second factor that affects warehouse location is workforce availability, labor skills and cost. Depending on the product, the company also needs to understand that what is the kind of labor skill that they require to have in the warehouse. For example, if the company's product offering is very fragile, then obviously a separate kind of skills are required to handle these fragile items, or if it is something hazardous or which has chemical components or so again certain restrictions or certain special requirements are there. So, the company needs to understand that what is the kind of workforce which is available near to that warehouse, and what that means not only in terms of quantity, but the quality of the warehouse, quality of the laborers also, and the cost that may be required to pay to all these laborers. Then the third factor being the road, highways and traffic flow. That means the proximity of that warehouse from the main roads, the GT roads or the other connecting roads. So, that would help in the ease of movement of the goods, that will help in smoothen up the process of transportation, that will help in speedy delivery of the products also. So, a proper connected warehouse will always give a lot of advantage and leverage to the organization. Then proximity to airport, railway station and ports. This is also something very important for companies to decide, that if they are doing business in or doing their trading in larger geographical areas, then the warehouse should be such that they are well connected with the airport, railways and ports, so that the goods can be moved from one city to another or maybe one country to another, and having a better connect with these airports, railway stations will help them do the export import things in a proper manner. Then market and local environmental factors. It is always very important to understand that what is the connect of the warehouse from the market. If the warehouse is near to the market, it will be convenient and cost effective for the customers, that means the distributors, to pick the items as and when required. That means there would be less chance of the customers to get stocked out, and so it will always lead to more of customer satisfaction and loyalty of the distributors to the company. But if the market access is not very good, or the local environmental factors in terms of availability of let us say electricity or water supplies or other kind of supporting facilities are not properly, then that may lead to delayed increased lead time, delayed receipt or such kind of challenges. Then the next factor is building availability and utility cost. How much space is available, what is the infrastructure that are available in that particular area to help in the loading and unloading purpose, whether the building has sufficient space for parking of trolleys and trucks and all kind of things. And then coming to the government policy, whether the government is supportive enough in growing up of this infrastructure of warehouse, or rather in this particular industry where the organization is working. Now, let us talk about the methods to decide warehouse location. So, a company needs to understand that there are two methods on which they can take the decision of that what kind of warehouse they want to have. The first method is known as location rating factor technique. In this technique, first of all, the organization needs to identify the factors that influence location decision. Next, each factor is provided a weight between 0 and 1 according to its relative importance, and 0 denotes the least importance while 1 denotes the most important. So, that means a scale is developed and the company is required to identify the various factors as we had discussed earlier also, and upon and the depending on the various factors they would rate it, and that the cumulative rating of all the factors will help them understand that whether that particular warehouse is feasible or not. Coming to the second method, which is a center of gravity technique. According to this technique, the emphasis is more on transportation cost in determination of facility location. The transportation cost mainly depends upon the distance, the weight of merchandise, the time required for transportation, the center of gravity map, the center of gravity maps various suppliers location on a Cartesian plane and suggests a central facility location with respect of location of suppliers. So, over here the focus is not on the factors available on the warehouse, but the decision is based on the cost, because as we had discussed that if the market if the distributors, if the marketplaces are near to warehouse, then that will help the company to leverage on the speed of the delivery, the offerings, there will be a lesser of lead time, and so the customer satisfaction will be more. So, over here the point of concentration is more on the transportation, and so strategically the companies try to understand and locate that how many suppliers are there in the vicinity, and if the vicinity does not has more of location, then the company may think of shifting their warehouse from the particular place to another. Now, coming to network design. So, network design is basically the logistic network, and while in case of network design we talk about that how the different components, the different participants of logistics are interconnected to each other, because in logistics we were always focusing on the movement of product and information, and so the different participants of a logistics network includes the plants, the suppliers, I mean plants, that means the production unit, the vendors, that means the suppliers, the ports, that means the dockyards, the railway stations, the airports, the warehouses, retailers and distribution centers. It may be distribution centers, cross dock units or any other thing, and then the customers. And the second thing that also comes under logistic network is the raw material and finished products that flow between these facilities. So, once an organization is designing their network, then they should take in consideration all these components, and they should also take in consideration the flow of the material, because the quality and the quantity and the type of product that would flow from one node to another will significantly have an impact on what is the kind of network design that is chalked out by the organization. So, key strategic decisions in network design includes over here the assumption is that the plants and retailer locations are fixed, and we concentrate the following strategic decisions in terms of warehouse. In this particular slide, in this particular discussion of ours, we have taken the decision making periphery in by concentrating on the warehouse only and not on any other aspect. We have taken in consideration that the production unit and the retailer locations are fixed, and they cannot be changed, and so we are keeping ourselves the decision the decision concept is basically focused on the concept of warehouse only. So, the decision making would include pick the optional number, location and size of warehouse. So, the company should basically think about that what are the different kind of different number or location and size options that are available to the company. That means how many they can what is the range of warehouses that they want to have, maybe 3 to 5 or 5 to 7 or whatever, and what is the kind of range of locations. That means what is the geographical area or geographical coverage within which they should not keep it very specific, but they should provide themselves a range within which they would like to have a warehouse. And then obviously the sizes also, that means from what least to what maximum size they would like to have a warehouse, because obviously the company will not keep their production exactly same at all time. They need to fluctuate it also depending on the demand. So, there is a range of size will always help them increase and decrease the flexibility of production. Then the second factor over here is determine the optimum sourcing strategy. The company must also think of that if they are not following JIT concept, then what is the optimal sourcing strategy? That means how much quantity they are ordering. I mean, what is the quantity of raw material that they are ordering, what is the frequency of their order size, what is the lot size, and so all, because that will also be one of the criteria that they would require to keep their raw materials in the warehouse. So, accordingly they will have to assess the sourcing strategy as well. Then which plant or vendor should produce which product. An organization may have multiple production units. So, if they are having multiple production units, the organization needs to think about and plan accordingly that which particular plant location is responsible for producing what kind of products, because the vicinity of the warehouse should also be dependent on the kind of product being produced in the plant, because there may be a requirement of special kind of facilities in different warehouses. So, this is something very important for companies to pre-decide before warehousing decision or networking decision is taken. Then the next is which warehouse should service which retailer. That means the company should also, because we have taken this in mind that the retailer's position is fixed and that cannot be altered. So, the company should decide pre-hand only that what is the which warehouse will be covering which all geographical areas, and whether there is a proper connect with that geographical area, and how many retailers are there, because if the particular geographical area do not have sufficient number of retailers, then there is no point of keeping warehouse over there, because that will not only incur a lot of cost for keeping the product, but also that will also enhance the cost of transportation of products from warehouse to other remote retailers. So, the objective is to design or reconfigure the logistics network so as to minimize the annual system wide cost, including production, purchasing cost, inventory carrying cost, facility transportation cost, etc. So, over here you need to understand that all the strategic decisions related to networking design are mostly majorly rather focused on reducing the cost only, because cost is something which, if kept to the lowest level, will always help the company to improve their the pace and the smoothness of the working, as well as enhance their competitive advantage. Now, we shall also understand the factors affecting network design. So, the various factors includes the changing customer service requirements. There are different types of customers. For example, even when we are not taking the end term customer in consideration, the different retailers, where wholesalers, cross docking centers who act as the customer to the company, do also have different kind of service requirements, do also have different kind of demands, and according to that demands, the company is required to keep their products ready for delivery. So, the company is expected to understand the different needs and accordingly package the product accordingly, so that the individual customer demands can be met. Then shifting locations of customers and or supply market. That means if the customers are shifting their locations of operations, that means if the retailers customers are shifting, or maybe the distributors retailers are shifting, then obviously the company will also be required to provide the deliveries as per the defined places of the customer, and so there will be requirement of transporting the goods at different places at different point of times. And so this also is one of the important aspects of networking design. Then change in corporate ownership. If a particular company is owned by, let us say, one body right now, and then probably it may be owned by, that means in case of merger, in case of joint ventures, in case of shifting of ownerships, the policies of the other of the customer, that means or the partnering company, may change, and obviously the requirement or the demand of the customer may also change. So, this also needs to be taken in consideration while designing network. That means, if for example, if the warehouse is owned by a particular body, and then after certain mergers or taken up by certain other body, the facilities gets changed, then that aspect is also something to be taken care of. The cost pressure, obviously company is always required to reduce their cost. So, cost is one significant factor which plays which keeps a I mean lot of pressure on the companies at every point of time. Then competitive capabilities, organizations are required to improve their skills, capabilities, experiences of the employees by proper training and proper helping them out with the support activities, so that their capabilities can be improved and proper networking design can be made, and smooth running of all the activities and smooth flow of material is done properly. And then corporate organizational change. Within the organizational premises itself, lot of organizational change are required to be done because of the dynamicity of the external environment. So, depending on all these factors also, that means for example, if the company wants is offering a particular kind of product today and may think of producing different kind of or diversifying into different kind of industry in later years, then obviously the organizational change will lead to the changed requirement of warehouse. And so, this also needs to be taken in consideration, that what are the organization strategic intent and how they will be able to cope up with their networking design. Now, over here maintaining the trade off obviously acts as a challenge, and so over here you can see that the warehouse locations are crucial determinant of whether the supply chain is effective channel for the distribution or not. Over here you can see that the company is trying to compare the warehouse requisition on the basis of two factors, that means the number of warehouses that they want and the cost of warehouse. As you can see, the cost of warehouse will obviously increase with the increase of numbers of location that they want. So, over here you can see that there is a fixed cost, that means as the number of warehouse would increase, which is denoted by blue line, then as the number of warehouses will increase, the cost of warehouse will also increase, but the inventory cost will not increase in the same manner, will obviously go up and then will stabilize after some time. However, the transportation cost will be higher if the company is aiming to have lesser number of warehouses, but the transportation cost will go down with the increase in number of warehouse. So, that means the company needs to strategically think that how they can balance between the transportation cost and the inventory cost and the fixed costs. So, that gives us this curve of optimal number of warehouse, which is denoted by red line, which shows the total cost. So, over here we can see that the total cost goes down, and at a particular point the cost this particular cost is least, and then with increase of the increase of every increase of the warehouse, the total cost also starts increasing. So, the company must try and understand. So, the company must try to understand that which is the point at which they are having the least cost, and from which the and opting for these number of warehouses will help the company not only provide a or serve the customers of larger geographical area, but also minimize on their cost aspects as well. So, maintaining the trade off is a challenge, and so this can be done by increasing the number of warehouse yields in terms of an improvement in service level due to reduction in average travel time of the customer. That means, if the customer is traveling more, then probably if the customer is required to travel more, then the services should be enhanced, so that the customer does not feel that he is missing on certain things. That means, he is ready to that the customer should be given so much of value that the customer becomes ready to avail those services to travel more also. Then the next trade off, the solution is that an increase in inventory cost due to increased safety stock required to protect each warehouse against uncertainties in customer demand. That means, if the company is providing lot of keeping lot of safety stock and trying to maintain that safety stock with the customers also, then probably that will help the customers also not face the situations of out of stock situation, and will not have any issues and will not lose on the trade also. The next solution is that increase in overhead and setup cost. Obviously, the I mean, for this trade off between the cost and the number of warehouse, the company will be required to have lots of overhead cost also, and setup cost will also go high. Then the next is a reduction in outbound transportation cost from the warehouse to the customer. That means, the company will be required to maintain to provide lot of outbound logistics, outbound transportation, and that transportation will also go up, because if they are reducing the number of warehouses, then the company will be required to support this reduction of warehouses through transportation services, through efficient transportation services rather. And then an increase in inbound transportation cost, the transportation cost from the suppliers or manufacturers. So, if the warehouses are kept low, then the company will also be required to increase in their inbound transportation also, because that will help them balance of the cost of warehouses, and will help them improve their efficiencies and smoothen up the process as well. So, in essence, the firm must balance the cost of opening new warehouses with the advantage of being close to the customer. So, over here you can now understand that how warehousing and cost plays very important role, and how networking decision is not a easy thing, and how companies need to understand that once they are doing they are actually planning a network design, then how and what are the different factors that play very significant role, and how combination of all these factors will only help them understand that what is the kind of decision warehousing facility location or decision that they want to have, specific to their own kind of product and specific to their own geographical markets. For further details, you may refer to these two books by D. K. Agarwal and Balu and Balu. Thank you.